Hey there, how are you today? My name is Dana Damara, and you have landed on Astrocast. This is your weekly forecast from June 10th to the 16th. So, this week is all about focused awareness, focused attention. Where are you putting your focus? So, I talked a little bit in class this morning about how, well, first of all, how we have about 90,000 thoughts a day, which is a ridiculous amount of thoughts that we're never going to be able to process. We just weren't meant to take on that much information. And then the other thing I talked about this morning was how, when I led the breathwork training, we talk about the difference between conscious breath and breath awareness. So we talk about being aware of the breath, and then we talk about directing the breath. Okay. So what I'm going to encourage or invite in for this week is just having a deep awareness around where you're putting your attention, where you're putting your focus, what you're thinking about, what you're saying, right? So, the overarching energy this week, Mercury will conjunct the sun. Okay, so when Mercury conjuncts the sun, we're talking about an intense focus on communication. So any kind of communication coming in, now we're processing that information, and communication going out. So emails we send, the texts we send, the verbiage we use, everything this week is about this really important thing that we call communication. Okay, now we have 3 squares this week, and squares are intense aspects between planets. They create a 90 degrees square, like this, right? I like to think of squares as an opportunity to get clear and curious about where I'm being challenged and where I'm challenging myself. So the first one is Mars square Pluto. Now, Mars is assertiveness, Mars is initiative, Mars is masculine. When it squares Pluto, it's asking us to take a creative initiative toward what it is that we want. It's asking us to use our instinct and our inspiration to move forward with what we want. It's very goal and ambition directed. So it's like, what is it that we really truly desire? Where are we putting our ambitions, our motivations? What are we really motivated about? Why are we motivated about it? Like really questioning this energy. And it's an energy that pushes us into being authentic with how we're spending our time. The other one is Mercury square Saturn. So Saturn is the disciplinary. Saturn is the timekeeper, the responsible parent. So when Mercury square Saturn, it's this energy is asking us to take responsibility for what it is that you're saying, what is it that you're choosing, your choices. This is a really great week to get focused on a project, maybe outside your comfort zone a little bit. It's definitely not a week to be bored. Okay. And then toward the end of the week, Venus is going to square Neptune. Now, Neptune is psychic ability, intuition, the depths. Venus is our value, money, abundance, love, that kind of thing. So when Venus squares Neptune, Venus and Neptune squaring one another really asks us to use our heart and use our intuition in channeling the energy that we're putting out into the world. So focused attention, focused awareness, like really dive into paying attention to how much time you spend on your phone. Maybe turn your phone off at the end of the day. Sometimes I say that in class or in workshops, and people gasp, literally, when I suggest putting the phone in the other room when we go to bed. I don't put mine in the other room, but I put mine across the room and I turn it off because it's just too much information. And I would invite you this week to, at the very minimum, look at, without judgment, but with honesty, on where you're putting your attention. And when you catch yourself in those moments where you're either getting swept up in other people's stuff, you're getting um, pinged by the media on, which means like you're taking on the news and what you see and what you read. I would just pay attention to these things and then allow yourself to take a breath and then come back to what it is that you want to focus on. I said this in class too. I feel like in the next few months, at least here in North America, uh, it's going to get, the news is going to get louder and louder and louder and more cuckoo crazy. So I don't know. I don't really want to be a part of that. I would rather just focus on what I want. So I don't know, for what that's worth. Maybe take that with a little grain of salt and start this week. Focused awareness. If you want your chart read, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find me at danademora.com. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great day.